Howdy folks, I'm curious catamarans, calmly cruising through choppy Caribbean currents.
I'm Amber.
And here are more Caribbean currents for us to chop through. Turns out that it was currants, the raisiny type of things, and it wasn't currants. And so, yeah, it looks like we've got a lot of things to eat now. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I the jerk for refusing to help a coworker save his job after he championed the same strict KPI rules that are now getting him fired? I work in a mid-sized logistics company, and about a year ago, this guy, Marcus, was promoted to be our senior operations analyst. Marcus is the kind of guy who is completely obsessed with corporate grind culture and efficiency metrics. Last winter, our company was looking to restructure, and Marcus volunteered to design a new, incredibly harsh KPI, which is a key performance indicator system for our department. A lot of us argued against it during meetings because logistics can be unpredictable and sometimes delays aren't the employees' faults. But Marcus completely shut us down. He literally stood up during a presentation and said that weak links need to be weeded out, and that if somebody can't consistently hit their numbers every single month, they simply don't belong in this career. Thanks to his system, two really hard-working people from our team were let go earlier this spring because they had a couple of bad weeks due to supplier issues. Marcus didn't show a shred of empathy back then and publicly used them as examples of why the new rules were necessary. Well, guess the leopards ate his face too. Over the last 2 months, Marcus has been going through some messy personal stuff, and his own performance has absolutely cratered. He missed several major deadlines, and his team numbers are currently the lowest in the entire department. Yesterday afternoon, he cornered me in the break room looking completely desperate. He told me that management gave him an ultimatum, and that if he doesn't close at least 3 major accounts by the end of the week, he is going to be terminated under the exact same KPI guidelines that he wrote. He basically begged me to transfer 2 of my upcoming closed deals over to his name just to help him survive the review, promising that he would make it up to me later. I looked him dead in the eyes and told him no, because according to his own philosophy, weak links need to be weeded out, and I didn't want to protect someone who doesn't belong in this career. He got incredibly offended, called me a cold-hearted snake, and slammed the door. Now, a couple of other people in the office who knew about it are saying that even though Marcus is a hypocrite, I'm still a buttface for actively letting a colleague lose his livelihood when I had the power to save him. Am I the jerk here? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. He was the one who was advocating for the system, but there's a bigger issue here too, in that he's expecting OP to give him his cases. And so these would not be going onto OP's account and would make OP's performance metrics look lower. Do you really think this kind of snake is going to not backstab OP if OP's performance metrics suffer? Like, maybe he won't, but like, I would not compromise my career for this man.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is a unfortunate situation that OP has been put into. Marcus shouldn't have even approached OP and about this, and I think that certainly it shows that these key performance indicators aren't really all that good at indicating somebody's overall performance. Now, I think that these kinds of metrics can do a lot of harm to an organization. It's important, like, to some degree, to bean count, right? But when you focus too much on the counting process instead of what actually gets the company moving and what helps the company be successful, that can cause a lot of issues. And I think that Marcus was focusing on the wrong stuff. I do think that this might be a job that is not going to be a long-term sustainable thing, because what happens when Marcus, what happens when everyone has a bad month here and there? Eventually, everyone is going to be let go from this job, right? Like, it's just inevitable that sometimes your performance is going to slip. And I feel bad because that's just kind of what's going to end up destroying a company like this. Like, it shows that it's just completely unsustainable to do this kind of thing. So I feel bad because a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. And maybe this is the time for the group to get back together and say, look, these key performance indicators clearly aren't working out. 2 of our best people were let go, and that's just through no fault of their own. So I think that the other coworkers need to take a stand and maybe getting Marcus on their side to help correct this would be better for the long term anyways, you know? But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I the jerk for refusing to put the apartment and part of my brother's business in my name? I have an older brother, our relationship is fine, but we're not close. Since he has done devious things in the past, and then called that everything is fine, I honestly wouldn't trust him in important matters without asking questions first. This Tuesday he came over to me and he was planning to divorce his wife. Then he asked me to temporarily put some of his assets in my name, an apartment, and a stake in his business. I asked him why, and he said that he didn't want his wife to get too much in the divorce, and that it would just be on paper. He said that I will give it all back later. I said no right away. First of all, I don't want my name to appear on records that might come back to haunt me in the form of taxes, lawsuits, or allegations of asset concealment, all of which are sure to occur. She is a good person. She has been with him for a long time, assisted with the business, made investments, and took on some of the administrative duties when he was first starting out. I believe that she should receive a fair portion. She deserves it. After I brought all of this up, my brother became irate and said that I sided with her. Later on, our mother called me to tell me that I could have helped family out. I responded that I am willing to support family, but not when it comes to something shady, morally questionable, and probably illegal. Maybe I sounded way too cold, but he didn't come to me as a brother. He came to me as someone who needed my name for a shady scheme. And it was definitely wrong thing to do. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, you are not the jerk. And this is a very smart move. Like, ethically, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't try to hurt someone to save your brother money. It sounds like this is rightfully she should be able to have a share of their assets if she's helped build up this business. But also, legally, it's very smart not to do this because, like, the courts are going to look and they are going to find out.
Yeah, I mean, white-collar crime is still white-collar crime, right? People still go to jail for white-collar crime occasionally.
Yeah.
Okay, if you are Martha Stewart, then you will go to jail for white-collar crime. All other white-collar criminals will probably evade the jail because they're rich and powerful enough, but OP probably is not rich and powerful enough to avoid jail. They probably wouldn't even be writing here, if they were. The thing is that the brother is making very unwise decisions here, and I think that this is eventually going to catch up with them. Very dubious, and I think that if OP wanted to, they should probably consult a lawyer before even considering something like this, but I do think that OP is wise to not even embroil themselves in this nonsense here, right? And also, like, what happens if OP refuses to give the stuff back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they are like, no, this is mine now, they could do that. The brother is taking a huge risk here. So no, I don't think that OP is in the wrong. I just think that the brother is being incredibly unwise and also very foolish because of the whole legal repercussions of doing something so fraudulent. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for forcing my fiance to wear what she doesn't like? My daughter, 10, gave my fiance an early birthday gift, which was matching dresses for herself and my fiance. Apparently, my sister took her shopping. I admit the dress wasn't very pretty, but it was nice to see that she seemed excited and asked my fiance if they can wear them on my fiance's birthday party. My fiance said no and promised that they can wear them at home sometimes. My daughter was upset, but didn't say anything and left. I asked my fiance why she did that, and she said that the dresses were ugly and that this is all my sister's fault. I told her that regardless, it was a nice gesture and she probably couldn't afford anything prettier. She bought it with her own money. My fiance still refused to wear it. I told her that she was being selfish and she called me a jerk for forcing her to wear something that she doesn't like. All right, folks, what do you think?
Yes, OP, you are a major jerk. Your girlfriend has a right to bodily autonomy. I understand that your daughter wanted to buy her this dress, but that does not mean that your girlfriend is obligated to wear it. Moreover, your girlfriend has offered to wear it at a different time, just not for her birthday celebration. Your daughter needs to understand that she cannot control what other people do. And, it may be that she had this really wanted to match, but It sounds like she hasn't taken your girlfriend's tastes into account at all. It sounds like even you admit that this dress is not an attractive dress, but you can always wear it.
Yeah. I mean, certainly, like, OP can always wear it if they really want to and have matching dresses. The thing is that I think that OP is not seeing the full picture here. Sometimes kids get disappointed, and that's life, and they need to learn how to deal with that disappointment. I also think that, OP, while it would have been a nice gesture to wear the dress, they shouldn't be forced to wear something that they don't like either, right? I know there are a lot of people out there who would be thrilled that their potentially future daughter-in-laws would be, or their future stepdaughters would be excited to wear something like this, right? Or share in this kind of thing. I do think that the fiance does need to understand that there might be a time when she wants to bond with the daughter and that this might hurt that bonding, but it's a delicate situation because she is, of course, allowed to wear what she wants. And I think that the sister probably should have consulted with OP first and talked, not OP, but the OP's fiance first, just so they could sort out what kind of fashion she would be willing to wear, because clothes are very particular for some people. And I think that is really something that you need to be sure of before you buy somebody a garment, because not every clothing is going to be for every single person, right? So it's a sticky situation. I understand where the fiance is coming from here, and I think that it's really nice that she wants to wear the dress with the daughter, but it's clear that this is really far outside of her comfort zone. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Laughing at a Rude Thing That My Son Said and Not Joining My Wife and Telling Him Off? I'm a 40-year-old male, and I was driving with my wife, a 39-year-old female, and our son, a 12-year-old, and our daughter, a 10-year-old. For some context, our son has a bit of a problem with swearing. He has a pretty vulgar vocabulary for his age, and when he gets frustrated, he'll blurt out all kinds of swear words. It's especially bad if his younger sister accidentally messes something up, like spilling a drink or knocking something over, like recently happened on a flight. We've been working on it, and I do tell him off when it happens. The incident happened while we were driving through some traffic. We came around a bend, and there was a car sitting in a ditch on the side of the road. Standing behind it was a young girl waiting. My son pointed out. As we slowly passed, my son rolled down the back window and yelled, "Be in a ditch." I won't lie, I found it funny. Not because I thought that it was nice, but because it rhymed, and my brain immediately went to those "you can't park there" memes. I laughed, and like she must have been on her phone or something to end up there. Well, my wife immediately got angry and told me to pull over. She made her son get out and apologize to the girl. He said that he would, but then instead of apologizing, he just repeated, "Be in a ditch." At that point, I wasn't laughing, but I had one of those completely uncontrollable smirks where you're trying not to laugh, and it just makes it worse. My wife got even angrier, and once I realized how upset she was, I tried to stop, and my son stopped too. She asked the girl if she needed any help, and she said that she already called for a tow truck and was on the way. My wife then made us wait there until the tow truck arrived because she didn't just want to leave after what just happened. Well, when we got home, my wife was upset with me. She said that I should have been telling our son off too, instead of just standing there smirking. My perspective was that there really wasn't anything left for me to add because she was already doing plenty of telling him off. I also do discipline him on other situations when he's swearing, and I believe it's not helpful just to keep nagging him. I also felt the situation was a little different. Usually his swearing comes from anger or frustration, and that's something that we've been really trying to address. Here, he wasn't angry at anyone, he just thought that he had made a funny rhyme, kind of in the same vein as those "you can't park there" jokes. It was obviously rude, and I agreed that he shouldn't have said it to a stranger, but I didn't think that it was as serious as my wife did. She thinks that I undermined her by laughing, and then not backing her up when she disciplined him. I think that she's already had the situation handled, and there wasn't much point in both of us piling on. Alright folks, what do you think of this one?
Holy heck, you're the jerk, OP, and I can see where your son gets it from. I mean, first of all, this was just completely inappropriate behavior. you don't say those kind of nasty things to people. And he's old enough to know better.
He's 12. He's 12.
Yeah, he's very much old enough to know better. Your wife, is like asking him to apologize is like bare minimum. He needs consequences for this bad behavior. He needs his electronics taken away, some sort of things, because this is inexcusable. You don't go up to a stranger, call them a vulgar term, and like get away with that. Like, he rolled down his window to swear at her, and then got out of the car saying he was going to apologize and swore at her again, and all he gets is a little lecture.
Yeah.
Like, your son is going to become a monster. He already is becoming a monster. You need to stop this ASAP, and you need to work on yourself too, OP, if you find this funny.
Send him to his room so that he can think about what he did for a month, take away his electronics and any other gadgets that he needs, and just say, look, until you can learn how to be a, decent human being, you can't have any of these things, right? And just let him think about what he's done. I mean, that's certainly, can be a effective form of punishment. But him swearing at people like this is not great. And it also sounds like he may be a bit on the misogynistic side, where like he gets angry at his sister for messing up stuff. Is this because his sister is a girl, right? And is this also because OP isn't showing, equal level of respect to their wife? It isn't ever backing her up and acts like the, fun parent or something like that, right?
Well, it's clear she's not taken seriously if the son would say he's going to apologize and then just swear at this poor woman.
Yeah. Like, this wasn't funny, and he needs to know that this wasn't funny. And OP laughing at it was incredibly irresponsible here, right? Like, this was a very rude thing to say. And I don't care how funny he thinks that these memes are. This is not this is the real world. This isn't, just some funny joke or something like that, right? This is a vulgarity that their son shouted at somebody, right?
To add to it, OP immediately assumes that she must have been on her phone.
Yeah.
Like, there's, another layer of, assumptions and probably some misogyny on that too, that he's, clearly this is her fault. She's in a ditch, so it's fine for my son to malign her.
Yeah, you don't know why she's in the ditch. There could be any number of reasons why she ended up in the ditch here. So I think that, again, OP was incredibly rude. Their son was incredibly rude, and they need to sit down and all have a long conversation. And hopefully the son can, not be like this in the future here, and needs to be set on the right course. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Where can you get a haircut and a hot dog?
Well, I mean, probably in a barber shop with a grill.
A barbecue, you might say.
Oh, yeah. I guess you might say that. But I wouldn't. And I have Mega Mint. And folks, today is a very special day. It's KPI day, so make sure that you are fulfilling all of your key performance indicators and doing so rigorously.
What are my KPIs?
Your KPIs are jokes, if good jokes, not the kind of jokes that you've been reading. So you're kind of going down in your KPIs, Amber.
Well, maybe I'll just quit before I get fired.
All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday, folks. I hope your Monday is off to a great start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on the leopards eating your face.
Treat others with kindness and respect if you want to be shown that in return.
Yeah. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.